At the peak of the GTA market in early 2022, there were fewer than 4,000 homes available for sale across the entire region, and the average home was selling in under 10 days with multiple offers and no conditions. Today, February 2026 market data shows 19,000 active listings, nearly 5 times that level. Prices are down 7% year over year, detached homes specifically are down 11%, and the average days on market has stretched to 36 days. On paper, this should feel like the most comfortable buying environment the GTA has seen in years. And yet, the consistent message I hear from people who reach out to me is that they have been going to open houses, finding homes they like, watching them sell, and still feel no closer to owning one. So the question this video answers is a straightforward one. If the data says it's a buyer's market, then why does buying still feel so hard? By the end of this video, you will understand what those 19,000 listings actually consist of, why well-priced homes are still generating real competition, and what you can do in the coming months before you even start seriously searching to put yourself in a meaningfully better position. My name is Gaurav. I am a realtor operating in the Greater Toronto area, and I help Canadians make smarter buying and selling decisions using real numbers, not assumptions. What I'm sharing here comes from current data and from conversations I have with buyers every single week. I recently spoke with a buyer who had been looking for about 5 months. They were pre-approved, clear on their budget, and watching the market daily. They told me that I have been to over 20 open houses and haven't written a single offer. When I find something I like, it's gone before I decide to act. And if something has been sitting in the market for 3 months, then I'm scared there's something wrong with it. That experience is not unique, and it comes down almost entirely to what the inventory is actually made up of. The GTA's active listing count includes every property on the MLS, but it makes no distinction between homes realistically priced to sell and homes sitting because the seller's expectations are disconnected from where the market is. The clearest signal of that disconnect is the sales to active listings ratio for detached homes, which sits at approximately 6% right now. That means out of every 100 detached homes listed, only 6 are actually trading. The other 94 are waiting. A large share of this stale inventory belongs to sellers who purchased near 2021 or 2022 peak and are either unwilling or unable to accept where prices currently are. When you set aside the overpriced stale listings and the homes that simply don't match what most buyers are looking for, like older properties requiring significant capital or locations that don't serve typical commuting patterns, then the genuinely well-positioned inventory narrows to about 15 to 20% of the total count. So that's a real pool of about 3,000 to 4,000 homes at any given time. It's still meaningful, but a fundamentally different picture than the 19,000 active listings. Once you understand that the real pool is much smaller, the next part starts to make sense. Even in this market, well-priced freehold homes in neighborhoods with genuine demand are still generating multiple offers. I've had buyers call me after offer night genuinely surprised, asking how a home in a buyer's market just sold with 7 competing offers. The answer is always the same. The home was priced correctly, showed well, and reached every serious buyer in the area at the same time. Semi-detached homes are currently the fastest moving freehold type in the GTA, averaging 23 days on the market overall. But well-priced semis in high-demand areas are frequently gone in under a week. That's not a hot market broadly. It's a concentrated group of qualified buyers all chasing the same limited pool of good options simultaneously. The mechanism is straightforward. Every active buyer has House Sigma alerts set for their criteria. A well-priced home lists Thursday evening. Dozens of buyers are notified at nearly the same time. The Saturday open house draws 30 to 40 groups. Offers are due Monday for that property, and by Tuesday morning it's sold, and anyone without a clear offer strategy going in has already lost it without even understanding how. This dynamic exists in every market cycle to some degree. It doesn't disappear because the inventory is high or we are in a buyer's market. If you need confirmation of this, ask anyone who is actively trying to buy right now, and they will confirm the level of competition in good inventory. If you're planning to buy in the next 6 to 12 months and you're using this time to prepare, then good. That instinct is absolutely right. The buyers who move through this process with the least friction aren't the ones who figured it along the way. They are the ones who understood it before they even started. Pattern 1. Know what you actually need versus what you think you want. When you're not yet actively searching, it's easy to build a detailed mental picture of your ideal home and to treat everything in that picture as equally important. That's exactly how buyers end up passing on homes that would have worked well for their life, simply because one or two things on a long list weren't there. Before you start going to showings, write 3 lists in an actual notes app on your phone. Your must-haves, 3 to 4 things maximum. If a home doesn't have these, it doesn't work for your life. It could be a minimum bedroom count, a school catchment your family depends on, it could be a commute your job requires, or a garage that genuinely isn't optional. Your nice-to-haves are the renovated kitchen, the finished basement, the bigger backyard, things you'd love and would factor in, but that you can renovate toward or honestly live out. Then your deal breakers, the hard nose, regardless of price or location. The reason to do this now, before emotions are involved, is that when you're standing in a home you love, you will not be thinking clearly. Having those lists already written means you walk into every showing with one simple question: does this home meet what I actually need? That clarity is what stops you from either falling for the wrong home or talking yourself out of the right one. Pattern 2. Understand how the offer process works in Ontario before you're in the middle of one. Most buyers encounter the offer process for the first time on a night when they're under time pressure and emotionally invested in a specific property. That is not the ideal moment for a first lesson. In Ontario, an offer isn't simply that you send a number and they accept or decline. There's often significant back and forth. A seller can accept, reject, or sign back with different terms, and each of those moves carries a response, a counter, and a clock. There may be competing buyers you cannot see. In a situation where a well-priced home is attracting multiple offers, the outcome is shaped by more than just the number you put on the page. It could be the deposit size, conditions, closing flexibility, and how the process is managed. They all play a role. I have made a full video walking through exactly how the Ontario offer process works, the stages, the back and forth, and how to navigate it without feeling caught off guard. The link for that is in the description. Watching it while you're still in planning mode before you're attached to a specific home is one of the most practical things you can do to prepare yourself. Pattern 3 is to let your personal readiness set your timeline, not the market. When you are a few months out from buying, it's natural to watch prices and wonder whether a little longer means a better number. With detached prices down 11% year over year, that's an understandable thing to factor in. But it's worth understanding how inventory actually works before making that call. The sellers genuinely willing to transact right now fall into 2 groups. People sitting on significant equity who have a real reason to move, and people under significant financial pressure who just need to sell. Sellers who bought more recently and would take a loss at today's price are largely just not listing. They're holding and waiting. That means the pool of well-positioned, motivated sellers is always smaller than the headline suggests, and it doesn't automatically grow just because you waited another 6 months. A home is a long-term decision. Most people who buy well are thinking in 7 to 15-year horizons. The question worth asking are personal ones. Is your income stable enough to carry a mortgage comfortably? Do you know what space and location your life actually requires? Is your down payment on track? Those are the conditions worth waiting for. Once you do start searching, be ready for the reality that finding the right home takes time. And that liking a home doesn't mean you get it. There may be other buyers who feel exactly the same way. What you can control is being prepared enough that when the right home comes up, you're ready to try for it with clarity and confidence. Since you're planning ahead, here's how to use that time well. First, write your must-have, nice-to-haves and deal-breaker list today or in the coming days. Keep it somewhere accessible on your phone so you can refer to it at every showing. Second, start spending time on House Sigma reviewing sold results, not listings, in your target neighborhoods and price range. Focus on what homes actually traded at and how long they sat. This builds a calibrated sense of value that most buyers in your competition pool simply don't have. Third, watch the offer process video linked in the description. Understanding how it works in Ontario before you're emotionally invested in a specific property makes the whole experience significantly less stressful because you are better prepared. Fourth, speak with a licensed mortgage professional now, not when you're ready to buy. Get pre-qualified, understand your rate hold options, and find out what federal programs you qualify for. Having that done early means that you're not scrambling when the right home comes up. And fifth, if you want help building a realistic 3, 6, 12-month plan for your specific situation, book a call with me using the link in the description. It's a 30-minute conversation with no pitch at the end. It's an honest conversation regarding what your path to purchasing a home looks like and what to focus on between now and then. Now, this video was really about understanding the gap between how buying looks from the outside and what it actually takes to actually do it well. The buyers who close deals in this market aren't the ones who got lucky. They're ones who created a plan and kept at it until they bought their home. If you found the video useful, then share it with someone you know who's thinking about buying in the next year or so. Clarity at the planning stage makes a real difference by the time the search actually starts. And once again, my name is Gaurav. I am a realtor operating in the Greater Toronto area, and I help buyers and sellers navigate this market with real data and honest advice. If you want to talk to me, then use the link in the description to book a brief call with me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.